and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. The world can be such an overwhelming and overstimulating place, which is why I create these pick a card reading videos in order to help guide and motivate you on your personal journey. And I promise you that you will leave your reading feeling more relaxed, confident, as well as prepared for life than before you tuned into it. So allow yourself to be open-minded, and together we can tune into the divine messages that the universe has for you. So today's tarot card reading is all about the messages that your angels have for you. I find tuning into angel messages to be such a comforting as well as relaxing type of reading. So make sure that you just put yourself in a comfortable position, get yourself a snack, something to drink, and enjoy your reading. So I have 4 groups that you can choose from today, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So the 4 different crystals are as follows. We have the Labradorite, we have the Geode, we have the Cognac Calcite, as well as the Selenite. And the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found linked in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So you have a quick and easy access to fast forward to your reading. And before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to my channel to never miss another reading that is relevant to your life. So I'm going to get into the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Labradorite. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Labradorite group number 1, which is just such a mysterious gemstone. Let me do a little close-up for you. So it glistens in all types of shades of blue and kind of like light greens, depending on how the light hits it. But honestly, my lighting doesn't even do it justice. Natural lighting is really the best to see all of these amazing colors. So if you have a Labradorite, make sure that you use it out in the sunlight. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what messages that your angels have for you, shall we? So we have Strength as well as the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to be starting off with the Strength card, group number 1. So the Strength card corresponds to the number 8, and in numerology, the number 8 is a number of infinite possibility, as well as a number that just helps you see different ways of how you can be kind, how you can be caring, and how you can just be the bigger person. And you may think to yourself, oh my God, like I don't want to be the bigger person, but I want you to know here in Strength that that is one of your superpowers, the ability to just always be that person who is able to go that extra mile for others, even when it can sometimes feel a little bit lonely, even when it can feel like you give so much and you go through so much and it's not always reciprocated, okay? And I want you to know here in Strength that that is kind of like a gift and a curse at the same time. Well, as you of course know, but your angels are trying to communicate to you that this is a strength that a lot of people wish that they had, because when you go through tough times, you can depend on yourself, which is something that a lot of people wish that they could. So be glad and happy for the fact that you're such a rock, such a strong person. In the Wheel of Fortune, we have this situation of there being ups and downs, but to never judge what part of your journey that you're on. So your angels are trying to communicate to you that while one point on the wheel may seem like it's, you know, at the bottom, if you look at it from a different perspective, you are actually on top, right? So one of the strengths that your angels want you to make more use of is to see opportunities in situations, as well as ways in which you can turn situations around and actually see positives, actually see opportunities instead of challenges. And then we have Nutrition as well as music. So this is a really interesting combination. Just having amazing music, having amazing food while listening to amazing music. Well, I guess you could say it the other way around too. But that is just such a magnetic kind of experience that your angels want you to have more of. Furthermore, in music, one thing that I can see here is that you have this natural kind of like knack to heal others through music. It could be either by making music or by just knowing exactly what music fits the moment, exactly what type of tunes will make someone feel comforted and make somebody feel good about themselves and their situation. So connect through music. In nutrition, I see here that, you know, just kind of upping your culinary skills, your culinary game is one thing that your angels are trying to communicate to you. So if you're somebody who can't cook particularly well, or you're not the greatest at seasoning, you know, whatever it is where you're kind of lacking, maybe you've always wanted to bake, but you feel like you're just not capable of doing, like making literally anything without burning it, without it not tasting good, know that your angels can see that this is just one part of a huge heap of different skills that you have that you can still refine, okay? Just because you weren't born, you know, a chef doesn't mean that you can't learn. It doesn't mean that just because you've made a few mistakes that that's just how it is, okay? And with cooking, that's just a big one, because nutrition is one thing that you can control really well if you allow yourself to delve into learning how to cook a variety of different dishes that contain a lot of different ingredients, especially like wholesome ingredients that help nourish your body, not just make you feel full or feed you, but actually nourish you. So these are postcards with angel messages in them, with messages from your guides. So I'm going to read your postcard to you. Dearest you, we know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws, and we view the creations of spirit in total awe. All is unique, yet part of a unity of existence. But the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have a specific standard for what you consider ideal, and this isn't serving you right now. So forget your idea of perfection and see through your eyes, allowing things to be as they are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all its flawsomeness. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are too. Imperfect and human, complex and simple. It doesn't matter, for there is always something to discover, experience, and love. When you drop the need for an ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. Loving you like crazy. I absolutely love your postcard message, group number one. It is just so, I just feel so deeply connected towards it. I feel like it is so relevant to not feel like just because as humans we have set certain standards or certain ideals, like that is how it needs to be, okay? We need to step out of those limitations and see things through our eyes. One thing that I find beautiful, maybe something that you think is okay, but what you really find beautiful is something way over here, something way different, something that I may have not even noticed. So just know that the way you see things in all of its beauty, all of its flaws is so relevant, group number one. Then we have the never-ending story as well as serendipity. So one thing that I can see here in the never-ending story in a correlation to serendipity is just the fact that these two are very interconnected in your situation right now, and your angels want to discuss this. So know in serendipity, we have, of course, like goodness, we have abundance, you know, serendipity. And the never-ending story, you can see that this person, this creature is a little bit frustrated, is in a place where they feel like, oh, this is never going to end. And I want you to know that your thoughts really do create your life. So if you feel like serendipity or abundance is very difficult for you to acquire, know that that's just like a cycle that is never ending, because the thought of it being difficult to acquire then translate into your vibrational energy not being on a frequency where you can attract serendipity, and then you attract the opposite. Well, you attract what you're thinking about, which is being unlucky, and it's just like a never-ending cycle, right? It's like a never-ending story. So know that you can tune your story into a more positive way, into a way that just blesses you with more abundance. That is one thing that your angels are trying to communicate to you. So try and turn your never-ending story into a never-ending cycle and loop of abundance and gratitude by reminding yourself that you are lucky, you are in a space of serendipity, of abundance, and in order to attract more of it, that's just the type of mindset that is beneficial to do so. So allow yourself to move into that space and to just energetically transcend from where you are right now. Then we have read as well as music. So we have music 2 times when you're reading group number 1. But first, let's talk about reading, right? I literally just spoke to you about transcending and moving into a different energetic space. If you want an amazing read when it comes to that, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza is an amazing book. I'm reading it right now, and it's all about, you know, becoming supernatural, becoming this person who you've always wanted to be, an ordinary person doing something that is supernatural and not ordinary at all, attracting heaps of abundance and prosperity into your life by changing your connection to the past and the future. Because when you're already kind of like expecting things to repeat themselves, then you already put yourself in the same kind of space of, how should I say, energetic frequency where you're ready to receive what you've always received, right? But if you want something new, you have to put yourself on a different frequency in order to even be able to attract and to receive things that you have never received before. So moving a little further into your reading in music, one thing that I want you to know, that your angels want you to know, is that you have to connect more through music. If you love to sing or love to play an instrument and you're kind of not in the headspace, or you've kind of given up on it, not had enough time, sometimes these things can also just fizzle out, if you know what I mean. Get back into it, get back to connecting through music, connecting with music, and just overall allowing your entire body and soul to heal. Music right now is a very healing thing for you, be it listening to it, making music, just putting yourself in a space where you feel deeply through music. Then we have the Spirit of Swords. So in the Spirit of Swords, we have eagerness, tenacity, which is what your angels are trying to kind of motivate you to let shine. That is a part of you that is very strong right now. And then we also have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is all about compassion. It's all about understanding, happiness, celebrating with your friends and family, both the big and the small accomplishments. As you can see, just a little cheers going on here. So allow yourself to do so. Also allow yourself to indulge a little bit. If you like to drink, for instance, you know, alcohol, juice, whatever it is that you like, allow yourself to indulge, to have it, and to just have fun with the people closest to you, and know that you're being refueled with just so much eagerness to get things done, as we have here in the Spirit of Swords. You're going through kind of mental refueling. Your tank may have been empty. Just the fact that you're mentally kind of stressed and anxious may have caused you to physically feel very drained and tired. But as I said, your energy is being exchanged, you're being refueled and put back on the plane, put back on into the game, if you know what I mean. So group number 1, this is a reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that these angel messages gave you some clarity, as well as just some inspiration and motivation on how to move forward. Let me know down below what really hit home for you. Also leave a tiger emoji if you made it to the end of this reading, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Geode group number 2. Let's do a quick close-up on your gemstone. This is just such a gorgeous stone. The Geode helps amplify energies of other crystals. So if you own a lot of other crystals, make sure that you pair them up with geodes in order to just amp up that energy. But let's move into your reading to figure out what messages that we have here from your angels. So we have the Four of Cups, we have Temperance, as well as the Three of Pentacles. So we have a very interesting combination here. In the Four of Cups, one thing that I see is that it's important for you to take time to meditate and also relax when it comes to your emotions. So chill out about all of your anxiety, about all of the emotions that you have that are not chill at all, okay? So those emotions could be connected to anger, they could be connected to resentment, and just overall, you know, feelings of being disappointed in certain people, certain situations, maybe even in the world. And one thing that I can see here in the Four of Cups is that when you have that kind of weight on your shoulders, your angels are trying to communicate to you, you're not helping anybody, you're not helping the situation, or actually bringing justice into the world. You're just making things harder to handle for you. You're just kind of making yourself feel exhausted. So take care of yourself and don't feel this need or this responsibility to hold on to any difficult emotions that are connected to things that you know just weren't right and just hit you in your heart, kind of, okay, in your emotional plane. Because the more you hold on to it and want somebody to do the right thing but they're resisting, the more you're just going to hurt yourself, because you have that expectation for them to do right. You have that expectation for them to do right by you, to make all of those hard emotions, those tears, the work that you put into them. You have that expectation that they will do something to show you that it was all worth it. But if they're just not in the headspace to do it, if they're just not willing to give you that, then there's nothing you can do about it. So instead of kind of putting yourself into any type of emotional turmoil, either plan on just like cutting that person off, cutting that relationship off if you know you can't look it in the eye anymore, or then try and just free yourself. Give yourself the gift of forgiveness so you can move on. Not for them, okay? They are crusty for doing that, but for you, group number 2. And then in temperance, one thing that I can see here is that you may feel kind of a little bit like overcompensating with food, with alcohol, with just, you know, things that you shouldn't be overcompensating with. And it's important for you to deal with your emotions in a way that is healthy. Don't try and have too many indulgent things that you know you're going to regret at a later point in time. That is what your angels are basically trying to communicate here to you, as well as in the 3 of Pentacles, that, you know, it's time now to build a solid foundation for your empire, and just to think of the different tiers, okay, how you're going to build the foundation, what the next tier is, what the goal is at the very top of the pyramid, and allowing yourself to think a little bit in advance, okay, to think into the future as to how you want to plan things, as well as to visualize your future. Visualize what your achievements are going to be, what achievements that you already have basically in a parallel universe, in a parallel dimension that you're trying to draw into your physical plane, into your reality. So by visualizing and already feeling the feelings of having achieved your goals, you're going to be on the same wavelength, and therefore the law of attraction states that you must attract that thing that you're on the same wavelengths with, because like attracts like, group number 2. Then we have crystals as well as healers. So have you always kind of wanted to be a crystal healer, or to heal yourself, your friends, your family with crystals? One thing I can see is that this is a really potent combination for you. Also, if you're kind of new to crystals, there are a lot of amazing books that you can get that will help you learn about crystals. There's one called the Crystal Bible, I think by Judy Hall. I'm not 100% sure, but you get the gist. You know, read about them, learn about them, collect them, and allow your connection to this naturally form and forge. One thing that I often do is I like to just hold the crystal in my hand for an extended amount of time, allow it to just like sit there and really open up to me in its own time, kind of give me its energy whenever the crystal feels ready. So sometimes it may take longer to connect with a crystal or to feel like you're being let in on its energy, and sometimes it can be a very instant kind of thing. But don't give up on some crystals that you feel a little bit estranged from, that you feel a little bit of a disconnect from. You can reconnect to them as well. In the healer, furthermore, I want you to know here that sharing with others is one thing that is very selfless of you, especially when it comes to your healing abilities. That is one place where I see you shining and being very strong. You're the type of person who always has the right words to say, always has the softest shoulder to cry on for others. And just sharing that gift is part of your life's journey and your life's work. So don't neglect it or feel like, oh, I'm just like giving this out for free and I never get anything back. Some of us just have that gift. Like for instance, you know, filming these YouTube videos. if I were to feel like I'm putting it out there, I'm putting out readings and I'm not receiving anything, then of course like our whole community wouldn't exist. Like all of this wouldn't be as it is. So make sure that you know that you have certain things that you are meant to put out there, that you are meant to give to others, and other people have certain things that they're meant to give to you that maybe you're not capable of providing at this very point in time. So know that it's a very much like a give and take thing of our universal energies and our universal abilities. But let's move further into your reading. So we have a change in the wind as well as the fates. So I see here that there are big fated changes coming for you, changes that are very rapidly occurring, and you're going to go from moving into one direction into the complete opposite. Okay, that is one thing that I see here in a change in the wind. Unpredictable changes, and your angels are trying to communicate this to you. So you're already basically prepared, you're already basically in a place where you're okay with changes happening, changes that have been, well, not have been unexpected, because then they would have been expected, right? But changes that are unexpected, because the more you're kind of ready for the unexpected, ready for things to just spontaneously happen, the more you've already decided, okay, I'm not going to allow anything to bring me out of balance. And that can really change how you react, and therefore the outcome of an entire situation, because life is really just 10% of what happens to us and 90% of how we react to it. So know that your reactions are a vital part of the life that you're creating for yourself. Then we have the shadow. So your angels are trying to point something out to you, group number 2, and this is all about materialism and people who are basically, should we call it social climbing? Should we call it just wanting to benefit from you, just wanting to see what they can get out of you? That is one thing that I see that is kind of like a little bit of a danger right now. So look out for that. Look out for that in the shadows. Look out for that also in plain sight, because often there are people who are, for instance, coworkers, family, friends that seem to be on your team, but what they're doing in plain sight actually proves otherwise, but you've never noticed it because it's happening in such plain sight. Like for instance, when you watch back videos of magicians doing tricks and they show where they actually like did the trick, where they actually did kind of like the optical illusion, right? And it's just in such plain sight that nobody even noticed that that is what they were doing. The participant, the person who they were doing the magic trick on, didn't even notice that that's what was going on, because they were being distracted by their talk, by what they were doing in their other hand, that they didn't realize what was happening in the hand that they weren't paying attention to. Then we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is maybe a romantic interest, maybe somebody that you have a romantic opportunity with. This is somebody who has strong leadership abilities, somebody who is at the peak of their success, at the height of their success. Know that the King of Wands is someone who has phallic energy, which is very masculine energy, and the divine masculine is a very forceful energy, a very forceful power that usually gets what it wants. So that can basically show you who this person is. Then we have the Dawn of Cups, as well as the Star. So the Dawn of Cups in correlation to the Star, I definitely see here that this is a friend, a family member, just somebody who you're close to, who can renew your spirit, who can renew your hope and just put harmony back in place, give you that feeling that not all things are bad. So of course, in the Dawn of Cups, that could also be me if you love watching my videos or you frequently tune in. The cups correspond to water signs. I'm a Cancerian, and know that in correlation to the Star, that is what I'm here for, to help renew your energy, to help restore your energy, as well as give you hope and show you that there's light at the end of the tunnel. But as I said, this could of course be anybody else who has an influence on you and your life that you deem to be positive. So try and hang out with those people more, especially those people in person that make you feel good, renewed, and like there is light at the end of the tunnel, because you know, being kind of like the healer, being the person who often exerts their own energy in order to help others can be very draining, and it can bring you to places where the emotions can be challenging. It can be very dark at times in those places where you just feel like, oh, I wish I had somebody. I wish I wasn't so drained from all the work that I'm doing. So use people who get you, who understand you, who support you as a way to restore and see the light, the brightness in all things. So group number 2, we are at the end of your reading. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you leave a little crab emoji down below, as we spoke about, you know, in the Dawn of Cups and just the whole water sign thing, or a fish emoji is fine too, group number 2. So I really hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you found it insightful as well as motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Cognac Calcite group number 3, which is such a gorgeous gem. I just absolutely love its cognac kind of orangey color, and overall it is just a very revitalizing stone. So let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what your angels are trying to communicate with you, what they need to say to you right now. We have the Princess of Pentacles as well as the Hanged Man. So group number 3, I want you to know in the Princess of Pentacles that they're kind of wanting you to look out for somebody here in the Princess of Pentacles who is of an earth sign, who has very strong earth sign energy. And I want you to know in the Princess of Pentacles that they're most likely your age or younger, but maturity wise, they're definitely younger than you, okay? You're more mature than them. You are in a place where you have your life a little bit more together, if you know what I mean. So look out for that person, as I can see here in the Hanged Woman, that just giving yourself a little bit of time to observe is essential right now, because you can see things that other people fail to see, be it in a romantic way in correlation to the Princess of Pentacles, or in a very like big sister, big brother type of way, okay? So somebody here is about to walk into a difficult situation, and in the Hanged Woman, I can see that you foresee that happening. You already have this feeling inside of you of how it's going to work out, or shall I say not work out. So don't remain silent. Instead, allow yourself to be watchful and present, and mention whatever it is that you see happening or going wrong for that person. Then we have the 7 of Swords as well as the 2 of Swords. So you're being taken down a trip on a memory lane, group number 3. I see here in the 7 of Swords that the reason why you're being urged to do the right thing, so to say, to look out for others, is because I can see that this is very therapeutic to you. I can see in the 2 of Swords that on the one hand, you want to be that person, you want to do that. And on the other hand, you're like, whatever, like, life is so look out for your own back these days that why should I do these things for other people when nobody ever did them for me? Because I can see here in the 7 of Swords that there have been situations where you've been really hurt, taken advantage of, and you felt as though, you know, there was somebody there that could have pointed it out to you, but they didn't. They chose not to. So why should you now be looking out for people when people didn't necessarily look out for you when you needed it? And that is where we're going down this memory lane trip, and where your angels are trying to communicate to you that if you still feel a little salty, if you still feel a little bit emotional thinking about those situations, that moving forward, helping others that you usually would maybe not necessarily help because they're not very close to you, or because just overall you feel like it's not your place. I see that that is the real therapy that you need, because we can talk about it all day. We can do all types of exercises, you know, writing out our emotions and burning bowl rituals and so on and so forth, but nothing goes over actually putting things into action and allowing difficult feelings to dissipate that way, by actually confronting the fear, by actually confronting the emotions that have been holding you back, or that have been keeping you in a place where you're carrying more of a burden than you really need to or should. Then we have spiritual teacher as well as creative expression. So one thing I see here in spiritual teacher is that overall where you can learn more of forgiveness, more of dealing with difficult emotions when you go down memory lane and you feel like you've been treated wrongfully is through taking lessons from a spiritual teacher, somebody who inspires you, somebody who can kind of like guide you or show you the way. So that could of course be, you know, pick a card readings on YouTube, but that could also be reaching out to somebody who you look up to spiritually and you just want to connect with them. You just want to kind of figure out how they got to that point and how you can embark on your own journey to overcoming a difficult situation. So your angels are trying to basically encourage you to not be afraid to reach out, because you never know what kind of a wonderful connection may come out of the situation. Then in creative expression, I see here that your soul kind of longs to express itself creatively. So if you've been holding back with creative expression, for instance, if you have been doing creative things but not really letting yourself express yourself 100%. For instance, I catch myself painting or journaling, and I'm not allowing myself to 100% express myself because I want things to be beautiful and cute and nice, and I'm not allowing myself to express how I actually feel and maybe some different things that I want to try out, but again, I'm not sure if they're going to be aesthetically pleasing. That is when you're kind of blocking your creative expression and you're not allowing it to properly flow. So try and catch it beforehand. Try and catch yourself doing that and catch yourself judging your art form, judging what it is that you're putting out there, which you of course need to stop doing, group number 3. Then we have Yang as well as co-create. So in Yang, we have a masculine energy. That is what Yang is all about. And we also have this in correspondence to the number 1, and the number 1 is a number of initiation. It is a number that is kind of urging you to start and embark on a new journey. And I see here in co-create is that that journey has to do with the universe and your angels, trusting them more and believing in them more. So your angels really want you to trust the information as well as the advice that they have for you more, and the symbols and numbers that they're sending into your life repeatedly to show you that they're there. They want you to know that you have to start initiating a co-creation with them if you want your manifestations to actually come to your plane, okay? If you want your manifestations to actually move from a parallel universe in which they already exist into your current plane, into your current situation. So allowing yourself to co-create and believe that these coincidences are actually patterns is going to bring you a lot of enlightenment and a lot more security in your abilities to acquire what it is that you desire in your life. So the Dawn of Wands is somebody who has very strong fire sign energy. The Dawn of Wands is somebody who is very inspired and comes with a lot of potential. They're at a place in their life where the potential is really infinite, and I see them having an interest when it comes to you. I see them very interested in where you're going, what you're doing, and what your projects are. Then we have Judgment. So one thing that you're being called to awaken to by your angels is to basically come to that understanding, to that epiphany that just because somebody is interested in what you're doing doesn't mean that they're instantly comparing. It doesn't mean that they're judging, because sometimes when people are looking at us, watching our every move, we may instinctively feel like they're judging, when a lot of times they're just in awe. A lot of times they're just like having this personal experience where they're like, wow, I really like what this person is doing, or I really love how this person carries themselves. But often we can just instantly think it's something negative. We can instantly think if somebody is taking a very, very sharp interest, a very deep interest in us, or just looking at us for a very long time, we can just think like, oh my God, that stare must be something negative. But that just basically shows that you're somebody who is not narcissistic, but instead you actually have a balanced or low-key actually pessimistic approach, which of course, if you're on the balanced side and you can be self-critical, that is healthy, okay? But if you're overly self-critical, if you're overly critical of yourself, of your looks, of your abilities, then your angels are trying to just basically communicate to you that this is a great time for you to catch yourself doing that, for you to catch yourself being overly analytical about how other people see you and about what you think of yourself, and to just kind of let it go, to just let it be, to not put so much value on appearances, to not put so much value on just overall the depiction that you're putting out into the world, because right now it's very unhealthy for you to do so, and it would be a lot better, a lot more helpful if you were to just let go of any type of public image that you feel you should portray or that you're trying to portray. So group number 3, we're at the end of your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a little flame emoji down below if you made it all the way to the end of this reading. I hope you're doing amazing and staying safe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Selenite, group number 4, and you chose this beautiful Selenite tower, which is a stone that helps cleanse energy as well as just overall get rid of any type of unwanted energies. So negativity, energy, vampires, all of that is able to just be cleansed out through the selenite, which may be exactly what you need right now. But let's move into your reading to figure out what your angels are trying to communicate to you. So we have the Devil, we have the 7 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, as well as the Tower. So one thing that I can see here in the 7 of Cups is that your angels are trying to communicate to you that you have a lot of different options and choices. So this may be very nerve-wracking if you're somebody who has a lot of anxiety making decisions, and it can really actually bring the devil out in you. So you may ask yourself, what does that even mean? Like, why are you even saying bringing the devil out in me? So I just mean the tendencies of procrastination, the tendencies of talking to yourself saying, oh, that option is not an option I should consider because it's probably too good to be true, or it probably won't work anyways. So that is what I'm speaking about when I speak about the devil inside of you. Basically just the side of you that does not want you to succeed, the side of you that is anxious. And each and every one of us have a side within us that has fear of success, fear of failure, to the point that it stops us from taking opportunities, it stops us from moving forward in certain situations. So that is where your angels want you to confront yourself, be stern with yourself, and cleanse out that negativity. That's why you chose the Selenite, group number 4. But let's move further into your reading. We have the 9 of Pentacles, and in the 9 of Pentacles, one thing that we have coming for you that your angels are trying to communicate with you is more prosperity, but also kind of being proud of your prosperity, being very forward about your successes, not being ashamed of the things that you have been able to accomplish or the background that you come from, especially if you come from a background that is privileged. Sometimes it can feel like you're being shamed into not being proud of it or thankful for it and openly declaring that thankfulness. But I see here that those are all things that you need to let go of. I can see in the Tower that just kind of shattering those feelings of guilt of being proud of the things that you have accomplished, or guilt of the background that you came from. I see that that is just one thing that your angels want you to let go of. They want you to eliminate that, as it is just overall not only not helping you on your journey, but it is also holding you back. It's also feeding into the side of you that procrastinates or that puts things off out of fear and out of just like anxiety of being judged, anxiety of people taking it the wrong way. And then we have crystals. So in crystals, I see here you have a very strong connection to gemstones and crystals, and this is most likely something you already know. When you see certain crystals, your heart just skips a beat, your heart beats a little quicker, and you just overall feel connected. You feel a genuine connection. You feel genuinely like crystals need to be a part of your life, like they're your little soul sisters, almost like they're actually like they have a heart, like they're an actual living being. That is one thing that I see here in crystals. So feed, if there's any addiction, I would tell you to feed, okay? Feed that addiction. Having crystals and just acquiring crystals, they don't go bad, they never go out of style. They are just a beautiful little like gems full of energy that you can carry with you, keep with you along your entire journey. You can hand them down to kids, to nieces, nephews, friends, just family in general, and you can charge them with intentions. You can recharge them, reuse them. There's just so much that you can do with them. Then we have author. So I see here that you have basically a lot inside of you, a whole story, a whole book inside of you that a lot of people can benefit from if this were to come to light. So if you've ever thought of writing a book, and know that it is a fantastic thing for you to be engaging in. And overall, if you just never thought your life was all that interesting, your angels are trying to communicate to you that you have a whole book inside of you that is just in the works, okay? Things are moving into the space where you will be ready to reveal that book. So that may not be in form of a traditional book. You know, it could be an ebook, it could be you speaking on a podcast, it could also be just you kind of sharing your experiences in another way. A lot of people share their experiences through body transformation, photos, videos, just overall little creative endeavors where they can share their stories and share what they've been through to help inspire, empower, and uplift others. And that is one thing that I see here in author that you have the tendency towards. Then we have between worlds. So your angels are trying to calm you. They're trying to tell you that it's okay to be in this awkward situation, just like this flamingo is in. So group number 4, leave a little flamingo emoji down below if you understand exactly what it is that your angels are trying to communicate by telling you that, you know, just because you're in a gray and kind of boring situation or a situation that you've outgrown doesn't mean that you're not going to shine again, as we have here in this very colorful half of between worlds. And sometimes you're not going to be quite in one world or quite in the other. You're going to be right in between, and just enjoying that is one lesson that you're meant to learn and meant to take aboard. Then we have to the sea. It's so funny how I just said a lesson that you're meant to take aboard, almost like aboard a ship, right? And then we have to the sea. So in to the sea, I see here that you're meant to kind of journey emotionally on your own. So go on your own emotional journey and don't feel like you need anybody to approve of it. So your own emotional journey may just be something that you go through at night when you're all by yourself, when you have just a little bit of time to think, to breathe, to be alone. It could also be a journey that you go through while you're on your way to work, while you're, you know, in transit, and you have that alone time where you have your headphones in or you're in your car and you're just by yourself. You can just really reflect, think about things. Your body is on autopilot doing its thing, and that just really gives you time to reflect on your life as well as your decisions, reflect on the emotions that you're going through, the things that you're feeling. And why you have to do this alone is because if you really want to connect with your angels as well as your ancestors, this is a journey you have to embark on alone. This is a feeling that will come to you, that, you know, having other energies, having other energetic entities such as other people around us, it can just mess with our frequency. It can mess with what we're going through as well as our enlightenment. So sometimes just having space to do things by yourself, to enjoy your own company as well as enjoy your own meditation, can just be a huge game changer for you. Then we have the world, as well as the 5 of Wands. So let me start off with the world, which is one of the most favorable cards of the tarot, if not the most favorable card. I want you to know here in the world that achievement as well as fulfillment is what your angels see as yours sooner rather than later. In the 5 of Wands, they can tell that you may be going through stages of frustration, stages where you feel like there are a lot of challenges, a lot of hurdles for you to overcome. But overall, know that your angels are trying to communicate to you that just by having that simple talk with yourself, that mindset shift, and also just being honest with yourself if you feel like you're self-sabotaging or just not taking all of the great options that you have been given, that is usually just like the little switch that you need to flick in order to make all the change, all the difference in the world, in order to be able to enjoy this achievement, this fulfillment, and this overall just overwhelming feeling of gratitude and love in your life. Because we all want to be happy, we all just want to feel good, and sometimes we're just in our own way without even realizing it or without even recognizing it, giving it recognition. And we look for things in the outer world, we look for things in connection to other people, and we fail to find what it is that we're looking for, that we need to change in order to make ourselves happy, until we realize it had to come from within, it had to come from us, it had to come with how we react to feelings of frustration, as well as feeling as though there are a lot of challenges within our realms. So know that your reaction to that is everything, and it can be that difference between feeling frustrated and down and feeling grateful and thankful, and like the world is your oyster, basically. So group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings.